Kimball Walker, he led the Celtics to a 121-109 victory against the Atlanta Hawks. Look, Kimba led Boston scorers with 28 points in a game, which is huge for Kimba, obviously coming back from an off-season procedure. And the Celtics, they did win on Friday, but they've struggled throughout this entire month. They've gone just 5-6 and rank in the bottom half of the league in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Boston has been without Marcus Smart, who has not played in February due to a calf strain he suffered in late January. And come on over to Woj's corner so that we can go ahead and get the latest there, because Woj, Marcus Smart, we think of him as like the defensive coordinator and a leader in a lot of ways for the Celtics, and they've obviously missed him. But what would be the latest on him and his return in Boston?
Maria, Marcus Smart rejoined the Celtics on their current West Coast trip. He's in, or Western Conference trip. He's in New Orleans today. But I'm told it is unlikely that he returns before the start of the second half of the season. So that's 7 more games here in the first half of the season. The Celtics have missed him tremendously. He had career highs before the injury in points and assists and steals and all the hustle defensive stats. He's at the very top with the Celtics among the league leaders. They miss him in that locker room. Sure. And there's just an intensity of ferocity about the way he plays on the court that Boston has absolutely been without. But right now he's going to continue to rehab that calf injury, and it is unlikely he plays again until we get to the other side of that midseason break, March 5th to the 10th.
Yeah, that's tough to hear. He's the one that knows when to switch, when to go for a steal. He's the guy contesting shots and getting deflections. But something happened this week that was interesting. Danny Ainge, the GM of the Celtics, I want to give a direct quote that he gave on radio. Our roster is obviously not good. He admitted that it's not good. And if there's somebody to blame, it is Danny Ainge. So when you hear something like that, Woj, obviously you spin into, well, how do you fix the roster? How do the Celtics improve their roster?
Well, they've got a couple things going for them as we get within about a month now of that March 25th trade deadline. They've got all their future first-round picks belong to them. They can use those in trades. And they have a $28 million trade exception that they got in the Gordon Hayward to Charlotte deal. So those are 2 avenues for them to be able to improve this team. I think you can expect Boston to be among the real active teams here in the next month.
All right, and that's a Boston team. They've dealt with their fair share of injuries, obviously with Marcus Smart out. Jason Tatum missed 5 games with COVID protocol, so we'll see if they'll continue to improve over the course of the season. Obviously, Kimball Walker being huge. We just mentioned him in our magic moment. He had 28 points against the Hawks. That was huge to see if you are a Celtics fan.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.